This is the podcast overview for week 5. We will be covering chapter 4, the self and social identity. So here's your to-do list for this week. As usual, I have an overview of the objectives here. So you want to look over all the objectives for chapter 4. Now these are not standalone things that you should only know for the test. These are just meant to guide you in the key things you should be understanding for the chapter. So good to have them with you, but don't rely too heavily on just these. You definitely want to be reading through the chapter and taking in all the information. So you're going to be reading chapter 4 this week, and then you're also reading article 13, which is called The Many Me's of the Self. Both of those will be integrated into your discussion posts for the week, and then you have an exam. So here are your lecture slides. Here's article 13 for the discussion post. And then I've got a variety of different videos. All are very short this week. I've got one on self-concept, self-identity, and social identity. This is a really great one because it talks about how all these things are different. We kind of sometimes use these terms interchangeably, but they each are very unique. What our self-concept is, our self-identity, who we think of ourselves as, and how that relates to the greater world around us, and then how we fit in the world around us, our social identity. And we might have various social identities because we may be a part of different groups and different entities within our social spheres. This video talks specifically about social identity theory, which is also in the book. This is also a great video because it sets the stage for understanding some things that we're going to be talking about later in the semester when we cover prejudice and discrimination. That comes in chapter 6. These are some underlying themes that are going to appear back again when we cover that material. I have a video called The Self in a Digital World. It's just a funny spoof off of the effects of social media on how we see ourselves. I think you'll like that. It's funny. And then another short little video clip from YouTube. It's called Look Up. Pretty much looking at the effects of electronic devices on us, how it can sort of remove us from social interactions. So I think it's pretty interesting. And then a video on comparing yourself to others, self-comparison, which is a huge thing we're going to be talking about all throughout the semester. This is going to come up a lot. And then lastly, a nice one done by Dove, looking at our own self-evaluations, specifically women's self-perceptions. And then how does that compare to other people's perceptions of us? So they're all very short video clips that are really going to help you zone in on some of the topics this week. Okay, for your discussion, you're going to be integrating in the readings, and I have here Article 5. That's not right. I'm going to take that out. It's just Article 13 and the text chapter, and then any videos that are applicable for this week. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm going to fix this. I wish I would have known before I started this podcast. You're not answering this question here. This was from last week. I don't know how I did that, but you're answering this one here. How might high versus low self-monitoring individuals act differently in an intimate situation such as dating? So the article that you're looking at this week talks about the self, specifically how we monitor ourselves in front of others. And it actually talks about low and high self-monitors. You'll understand what that means when you read the article. You can even find out what kind of self-monitor you are. I think there's a little scale that's included in there that you can fill out. So you want to talk about an intimate situation like dating. You know, you have two people on a date. How might a low self monitor act on a date, and how might a high self monitor act on a date? And you'll want to give some examples to support your answers, and tie in as best as you can concepts from the reading that help you to do that. And that will be it. So I'm going to fix this. You'll have just the one question this week. Don't forget you're responding to 3 other people's posts. I noticed going through last week's posts, there wasn't a lot of you, but several who did not respond to anybody. They just posted answers to the question, and that was it. And you're losing a hefty amount of points when you do that. I don't grade anything over a week late, and when material is late, you lose some points there. So you want to make sure that you're getting those done on time and submitting them, you know, to the discussion board posts on time, so that you're getting the most possible points you can. We have an exam this week. The exam covers chapters 3 and 4. And again, same format as last time. And definitely just give yourselves enough time with the material before you try to take this exam. So the exam doesn't close until Sunday. You know, and I would feel much better about students who kind of wait till the end of the week to take that exam. Give yourself time. I mean, this week we are covering chapter 4, which is on the exam. Give yourself the time to work through the material and do all the readings and watch the videos, and give yourself time to study before you dive in and try to attempt taking that exam. As you're working through the material this week, if you have questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk over any concepts that you might be stuck on or struggling with. Or if you just want to talk over some stuff before the exam, I am free and available to do that with you. Thanks everyone, and have a good week.